didn't want to live my life on birth control or pills.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, let's talk like this the whole time.
Hey guys, and welcome back to It's Pretty Simple. We're having a cozy couch session today, and today with me I have Zainab.
Hi.
Zainab is a longtime friend and client of mine, and honestly,
What came first, the client or the friend?
the friend. Duh.
Duh.
And the reason I wanted to bring her on the show is because the past couple of weeks I've been putting out episodes talking about PCOS with training, PCOS and nutrition, and she also inspired me to do the episode on the no sugar challenge. And so I thought it would be fun to get her on the show, and she can give you a little bit of her experience with PCOS and how she has navigated through it and what she's currently doing, because you still have PCOS, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
guess. It doesn't really go away, does it?
No.
You just
It
manage
can.
Yeah.
It actually can, but it's how you manage it. But sometimes it does.
Yeah, but I think in my case, it's because, I mean, I know we're probably going to get into this, but I think in my case, I was diagnosed very early on. Maybe that's something that'll make it harder. I don't know. Just making this up. Could be, yeah.
But, I mean, I was not very familiar with really coaching anybody with PCOS until you came along, really. I think I had one more person before you, and then you came along, and then after that, started reading and understanding. And yeah, you were my guinea pig, actually. You went through a lot of different programs of mine to see what works and what doesn't work. And then we brought the nutrition in. So let's just go back to your story with PCOS. So you got diagnosed really young, like you said.
14, actually.
Okay.
So I realized, because like when I got my period for the first time, I didn't get one. I think it was like a year. So I would get a period like once or twice a year. And so my mom took me to the doctor, and they were like, it's PCOS. And immediately they put me on birth control, which I think is the go-to, or maybe at the time it was the go-to. So if I was 14, I would say that was revealing my age. That was 2000 and it was 2000. Yeah, it was actually the year 2000, 2001. So they put me on birth control, and that was it. Like, I just kept going on birth control to get my period, but nobody really taught me about like what else it does to my body, like what are the other symptoms of it. So I just was like relying on birth control, but obviously like I couldn't keep taking it. So I think I didn't realize or understand more about PCOS until I was maybe like 23 or 24. I saw a book.
Long time.
That is a long time, yeah. So imagine like it's like 10 years of just irregular periods. And obviously, like I told you, like the minute I hit puberty, like I blew up. I obviously had an issue with my weight. I've had like an issue with my weight most of my life. So it was so weird because like the amount that I was eating did not match like how much I weighed. Like, does that make sense? So it was frustrating. And then
But did you know at the time that weight gain was one of the symptoms of PCOS?
No. Did I? I'm not sure. I thought maybe it was because I wasn't getting my period. I thought maybe it was genetics, my metabolism, because my sister Fatma had faster metabolism. So I was like, I don't know, maybe we're just different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then at some point, I think when I was in college, I did a really bad diet, but like I lost a lot of weight, and I somehow managed to maintain it. I was living on Diet Coke, salads, and coffee.
Oh no. Hey, but back in the day, it just seemed okay to do that. It was like, cut down your food, cut down your food.
I was like on a 500, 600 calorie diet, like, or something like that.
What was your energy like?
And like zero energy. No, I think I'm lying. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I think it was probably like 1,000, and I'm like a tall girl and a big girl. So I like, it was.
Like your resting is much higher. like the calories that you need at
Yeah.
resting is already much higher. So this is another thing I notice a lot of people do when they are taller and bigger. They still cut down to like 1,200 calories, and it's like, but that's not going to maintain you.
But I maintained it for a few years, and then I started
the diet.
Not the diet, the weight loss. The diet, I don't know how long I did it. I did it for a few months. It was crazy. But back in the day, like as a teenager, especially as a teenager with PCOS, and it was like the heroin chic era, and you would hear about like the supermodel diet. You know what I mean? It was very normal. Not eating was normal.
Yeah.
And that was my motivation. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight, so at whatever cost, even if it was at the cost of my health. And there was a lack of information. It was obviously based in a lot of ignorance. So then I got into, I think my last year of university, I got into working out, like with a trainer. So I started doing HIIT workouts. I did that for a few months. And then after that is when I discovered this book about like PCOS. And then I started understanding more about it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a lot of things that are coming into play. Like it's not just that I'm not getting regular periods, because I thought that's what PCOS was. It's just that, oh, I just don't get a period every month.
So you didn't understand the whole hormonal aspect of it.
And none of that. So then when I read this book, I was like, okay, so I need to be eating specific foods. I need to be avoiding specific foods. I need to incorporate more workouts. And that's when I started like, I mean, mind you, I was an athletic kid. So it wasn't really hard for me to get back into like working out and stuff like that. So I started incorporating workouts more into my routine. I would go on like walks. I was doing remember the Beachbody program? I was
So
doing
many people have been on that program though.
Look, the year was 2010.
Yeah, no. I mean, there was...
And Beachbody was at its prime.
Beachbody, there was a PX95.
P90X is prime.
P90X,
Yeah.
I don't know.
P90X, Insanity, there's another one that I did. So they were all part of the like the Beachbody umbrella. And so I was doing all of these programs. I was incorporating.
They were good though. I mean, they've given people results.
I mean, I saw results with Insanity.
For sure.
I saw major results with Insanity. I saw results with P90X. So I just kept doing that. But I, like, throughout the years, I would say, like, I yo-yoed a lot. My relationship with PCOS is very, it's a very turbulent one. There are days where I just, like, I'm like, why me? You know what I mean? And there are days where I'm like, okay, this is the body that I have. This is what I have to work with. Let's work on regulating the symptoms, because obviously, like, I didn't want to live my life on birth control or pills.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to do that. So I figured out ways of dealing with it in a more holistic approach. And I'm still learning. Like, we were having a conversation before the cameras went on where I was telling you, like, I still, like, there's a lot that I know, but there's still a lot that I need to incorporate and work on, like, step by step. But it's tough. It's not easy. Especially now. I feel like with the whole, like, Ozempic and Mounjaro.
Yeah, I'm sure sometimes you have thoughts and say, you know what, I'm just going to go do that. And then you don't.
Yeah, I have actually. I didn't tell you for obvious reasons. But yeah, there at some point, like, I was so convinced I was ready, because I didn't even realize, like, obviously after I started reading about PCOS, but then I realized, like, that it also makes you pre-diabetic. There's the insulin resistance. There's different symptoms. I know that different people have different symptoms, but I know with me, I have insulin resistance and definitely, like, high cortisol.
Yeah, because not everyone who has PCOS have the insulin resistance. The ones that have insulin resistance, that's when the weight problem comes in.
Yeah.
Like, my sister has PCOS, my younger one. She does not move. This is me telling the world, in case she listens to this, that she should get up and move. She doesn't eat any... Yeah.
Oh.
She doesn't eat any greens or nothing, but she's got PCOS, she's fine. You know, it's a different type that she has.
I know girls who have PCOS, and to them it's more of, like, they get facial hair and they get acne, which, thank God, I didn't get that. But, I mean, you know,
you win some, you lose
you
some.
win some, you lose some. But like I told you, like I know when I'm doing a good job is when my symptoms are less, or I would say they're more controlled.
So what symptoms do you have?
Obviously insulin resistance, high cortisol, and irregular periods, which is the main symptom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has your journey been for the past couple of years?
Turbulent. Like I said, no, the past year, I would say, the past year is, I think, we've taken like a more slow and steady approach. I mean, my diet, we're still working on that.
We're gonna come to the nutrition aspect.
The nutrition aspect, I'm still working on that. But I would say, like, in terms of workouts, I think you and I have like kind of, I think we're at a good place where even with my periods, and I was telling you, like, I've been having regular periods, which, alhamdulillah, that alone like makes me happy. Even though my cycle is longer, but at least like when I'm tracking it, I'm like, okay, it is falling within that like 30 to 34, 35 day mark, but it's closer, I would say, to like 34, 35 days. So I'm keeping an eye on my cycle, and I'm trying to maintain my stress levels. Like, I've been realizing that when I'm really stressed, because remember that year, I think it was like 2-3 years ago, when I was doing a meal plan. You put me on a new workout plan, I think, and I was like religiously following it, but because I was really stressed at the time, I was gaining weight. And I was so frustrated. I was like crying all the time. But I didn't realize that, okay, just because my nutrition and my workouts were in place, I wasn't focusing on the stress. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to maintain my stress levels. So I'm trying to eliminate a lot of stressors. And
like getting rid of toxic people.
Yes. Yeah, definitely one of those. Yep.
I swear that's one of the best things you can do for yourself to reduce stress.
Yeah. That, and I think also like my work, I think I started taking on less things because I am a very driven person. I was telling you earlier, like, I was all about the hustle. I don't want to hustle anymore.
You like the hustle.
No, I want an easy life now.
No, it will help. But like, even with your training, I mean, I still remember in the beginning when we first started training together, I mean, I was still understanding the whole PCOS concept. But I remember how you wanted to always do HIIT every session because you felt like the only way you were doing something was when you were sweating. And I was trying to make you understand that you didn't need that, and you'd still be making progress, and then finally you did. But before all the stress came on, you had lost 15 kilos.
No, more than 15. I think it was like 18 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. I think it was close to 20, something like that. But yeah, it's because I came from that mentality where I have to do like boot camp, HIIT workouts, whatever. And you remember when I was like freaking out when we started lifting, and I'm like, am I gonna be bulky? Am I gonna be? I don't want to look like this. I don't want to do this.
Like, I'm barely burning any calories, and I'm like, just do it. Just do it. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, it was a lot of complaining.
But it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. I mean, this is the thing, you know, not everything works for everyone. But we have to look at ourselves and what our body needs. And in your case, PCOS, you have insulin resistance. It's very obvious which direction to go in.
Yeah.
But it's a mindset shift. Because still there's a lot of women out there who believe that if I'm not sweating, I'm not going to lose weight. If my heart rate is not up, I'm not going to lose weight. And it's just going to backfire. And people don't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've got one more client as well, actually. She has just recently adapted to understanding that the calories at the end of her workout don't matter. You know,
They don't?
Really? No, because she's like...
Me looking at my watch, I'm like, how many calories did I burn today?
Well, you burn most of your calories from the rest of your day, right?
Yeah.
And your workout is literally 5% of it. Actually.
Yeah.
So if you're just sitting on your ass all day...
No, I track my other calories.
Yeah, no, but the workout is such a small part. But I mean, in the sense of people thinking I need to be doing high intensity stuff, and if you have PCOS, it's not gonna work. I mean, I did an entire episode on that, so you can go check it out. And she's proof of that as well. Like we've completely switched it up. Sometimes you do it now. Does it feel as bad?
Not really, no. But I mean, as opposed to or compared to when I used to do it every single day, and I used to tell you like, yeah, but when I did hit, like, I would lose like 5 kilograms in a month.
You were so annoying.
I know I was. Honestly, I was really annoying. And then you'd be like, yeah, but then what happens after? And I'd be like, and then I'd stop. And then it won't go down. But that's because of my PCOS.
Exactly. So trust me.
And I just didn't make the link. And then when you like explained it to me, I was like, oh, and you're like, it's all water weight. You're losing the water weight in the beginning. But because, what is it? Because HIIT workouts are high stress, so they increase your cortisol levels. Yeah. So we had to change that mindset first. But now I love it. Like, I love my workouts. And that's the crazy part is that I didn't think that I could enjoy going to the gym this much, and not only that, like, not kill myself at the gym to see results. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to, like you said, like, be dripping in sweat, feeling like I just want to die in order for me to, like, see results. And actually, like, I'm seeing major results in my body composition. Like, maybe the weight is not where I want it to be, but that's because of my nutrition.
Yeah.
I will admit that. But my body composition has changed completely. I don't, like, I feel like the fat is not stored maybe in the same places. I don't know if this is, like, real or not.
Those things don't really tell you, but you can see it when you look at yourself in the
I
mirror.
see it, like, I see my body, like, it's completely changed, like, the shape.
Yeah, so what's happening is you are losing body fat. There's still body fat there, but you are losing body fat, and you're getting shaped up or toned due to building of muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing that, you know, it's not about losing weight, and it's really hard to make people understand that because the weight loss is going to do nothing for your long-term health.
Yeah.
I mean, of course it will to an extent, but if you're somebody who's just obsessed with that, it's not going to help because you want to focus on building muscle for a longer life.
I mean, look, I am focused on that, especially because of my condition where I'm like, I obviously want to manage my symptoms as much as possible, and obviously the lower my weight is, the less easier it is, and the less, like, what's the word, like, the less effective or the less harm my symptoms are gonna have on me, I guess.
Less effect they're
gonna have on me. So and at the same time, like, I know like having a heavy or being on the heavier side, like, also has its consequences. You know what I mean? Just because I have, like, I do have high muscle mass, but I also, like, need to manage my fat as well. So that is something, like, when I tell you, like, a holistic approach, like, I do worry about that, where it's like, okay, yeah, I do go to the gym. I get in, like, over 10,000 steps a day. I'm not just sitting on my ass all day doing nothing. I try to eat good. I try to work on my nutrition. I fail a lot of times, but you know what I mean? Like, it is something that I worry about, where it's like, no, I don't want to be this heavy.
Yeah, because I mean that leads to other things. So you could now you have the muscle mass and everything, so that means you're not going to be getting osteoporosis anytime soon, you know. But there's other things that could happen because of the weight. So this is where you need to focus on nutrition. Yeah. And now, as I've told you many times, with PCOS, nutrition is like 10 times more important than with somebody who does not have PCOS.
Yeah.
You know, because processed foods, while they're fun, and you know it's okay to include with PCOS, it's a bit harder because again, it's the insulin spike and it's the glucose spike and also cortisol levels with something processed. Also, if you're not eating enough greens, you know your symptoms are gonna get worse.
Yeah.
So nutrition is a big thing, and in your case, which you are doing wrong, and I'm sure a lot of people do wrong as well, is under eating. Or maybe eating just enough calories for maintenance, but eating not at the same time and skipping meals and
very sporadic.
And when that happens, you're going to end up increasing your cortisol levels again. Cortisol queen.
Yeah, cortisol queen.
We should just give you some ashwagandha.
I think there was a time where I went on ashwagandha. I loved it so much.
It blocks your cortisol. It's like a cortisol blocker.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean you like live on them.
Oh yeah, okay. And so how long should I take ashwagandha for?
I have not done that much research on it. I just know the base of it.
Yeah, I did it for I think a month. Oof, I loved it. It was so good.
Did it help with any weight loss or anything?
I believe it did. I did it. I took it last year. I remember for a month, and then I told you I was like, okay, I'm not gonna take supplements without consulting anyone because I was just doing my own.
But I mean, ashwagandha is a root at the end of the day. It's all natural, but no, from what I've learned so far about it, because I bought myself a bottle, haven't had it yet. Basically, that it is a cortisol blocker, so it's a great thing to add in the afternoon. So as women, we need our initial morning cortisol. It's super important. But then, if you're somebody who's very high stressed, or like you said, one of your problems is cortisol, if you take ashwagandha midday, it should actually benefit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but this is from the research I've done.
Yeah.
And there's no harm.
She's a researcher.
I'm a researcher. There's no doubt that it will actually help you. I mean, there's even on the Huberman podcast, actually, he's gotten on so many doctors have come on there, and they've all talked about ashwagandha.
Yeah.
How good it is. So, yeah, maybe you should do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you should
I should give it a try.
And then,
or I could give it a try.
But when you do that, you also need to focus on your food. Let's take that seriously. And this is being said on the internet, so you have no choice. Holding you accountable.
No, I know.
This was a trap.
Yeah. No, but I'm very honest with you on it, and I've been talking to you, and I know you've sent me nutrition plans, and I don't know what it is.
Giving her a whole meal plan.
Yeah, actually. No, but you gave me the meal plan before I went on vacation.
And I asked for it.
I know. And I told you, I was like, babe, when I come back from vacation, I'll go on the meal plan. Completely forgot about it. And you know what my problem is that I act stupid sometimes. I pretend that I don't have PCOS. And I try to live like my girlfriends who don't have PCOS, where it's I'm just gonna have breakfast and then not eat and then have a light dinner.
So bad. But even if you don't have PCOS, you shouldn't do that. Maybe you're surrounding yourself with the wrong types of people.
Obviously.
I think that's the problem. It's the company that you keep.
No, whatever they do works for them. I mean, good job. It obviously is not working for me. And I know that. I'm aware of that. But I don't know. I think... so this is what I've realized recently is that I've had a very messed up relationship with food ever since I was a teenager. I'd either do no food or I would eat big volumes.
Why do you think that is?
I think I'm an emotional eater, or I was. Now, not so much. I don't know what happened. I became more aware of it. And that's why when I focus on my nutrition, I get very obsessive with it. I start becoming so obsessive to the point where it's not sustainable anymore. And I think you've seen me when I was super obsessive. I would measure everything. I would calculate everything. I would log everything, and I would just it would consume me constantly.
But this is the all or nothing attitude, and the all or nothing attitude is what sets most people up to fail.
Exactly.
I mean, I was like that at one point of my life as well. And it's if I don't have the whole week to train, I'm not even going to do one session. That was the mentality, and it doesn't work that way.
That's how I am with food. But now I'm more in a place where I told you, I was I'm just going to do intuitive eating. But I'm okay, my goal is to actually lose... What is it? You don't when I say lose weight, you say lose fat?
Yeah, lose fat.
Yeah, let's use the right terms. Lose fat. I want to lose fat. So that's actually something that I want. So I'm like, okay, I need to follow Nick's plan.
Yeah, I'm sure her expectation of what she would wish is that I would like be there to like cook and feed her.
Yes.
I think most people have that expectation of their personal trainers.
Yeah.
Or their nutritionists.
I wish you came with the plan. You know,
Just do it. And I can help you as much as I can through telling you and teaching you, but you got to put in the action yourself.
Yeah. Look, I told you I'm good with my breakfast. Usually, I have my breakfast. I'm good. It's after the breakfast is where like I'm like, okay, I'm not hungry. I don't feel like eating. And then like at 5 or 6 p.m., I'm like, oof, I need to eat now, like right now.
But that's the worst because your cortisol levels have gone up and your body's not prepared to even digest what you're getting. So you actually end up eating less. Some people might say I overate, but you haven't overeaten. It's just that you ate so fast, so quickly that you just feel absolutely stuffed.
Yeah.
But you're probably still not getting the amount of calories that you require.
Probably. And then like I will do like, for example, weekends. I would do like, oh, it's a weekend. Let me eat this. Let me eat a burger. I know you said like you can like incorporate these things.
Yeah. I just love how like you're doing everything I've told you not to do. I'm just listening to it.
We'll get there, okay? We're working on the nutrition part. We've got the workout. We've got the stress levels down. Now it's the nutrition, and that's the thing. It's step by step. Like I don't know. Like I've fallen off with my nutrition, definitely. But I'm not mad at it, honestly. Like I just want to get into the habit of having a good diet.
So, with somebody who has newly been diagnosed with PCOS, given you dealing with this for so many years,
yeah,
let's help them not go through everything you went through. What is the first thing you would recommend them to focus on?
Oof. I'm trying to think. I guess obviously depends on the symptoms.
No, like let's say it's like they've got an insulin resistance issue.
I think the first thing is to love your body no matter what. Like obviously, because with that diagnosis, with the issues that I have, the first thing that happens is you're like, why is this happening to me? Why does everybody else get to, you know, live their lives and whatever and not have to worry about the weight? Because I told you, like, my weight was a huge problem, like all my life. It was really tied to my like self-worth. And so when I hated how I looked, it affected the way that I managed my symptoms. So I would say like first thing is to like be okay with the fact and love your body no matter what. And then I would say the next thing would be, I think for me, it's like, it was working out. I'd say maybe also like take it easy on yourself. Like don't be too hard on yourself. But working out definitely is like medicine. Like it really like became such an important part of my life where it, even like I told you, like I mess up on my diet, whatever. But as long as I'm working out, I'm moving, I'm getting my steps in, whatever, at least it was like regulating my periods. And track, obviously, like be more mindful. Yeah.
But what do you feel about the other symptoms that come along with PCOS, like your emotional aspect of things? Do you think that really affects you as well? Because from my understanding, like I've been seeing all these memes of not knowing whether you're sad, whether you're PCOS sad.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mention it, yeah, I think it does make you very emotional because it causes a hormonal imbalance as well. So obviously if your hormones are out of whack, then your emotions are out of whack. So it is harder. I think for me, my biggest problem is I'm a bit stubborn. So I try to be like resilient, or you know what I mean? Like, no, I can beat this. I can beat it. It's not the PCOS. It's this or that or whatever.
How do you recognize that it's a PCOS emotional downer, or just you're actually feeling?
I don't know. Down? I've never thought of it like that.
You should think.
Yeah, I should think of it like that. I do recognize though, like maybe now I'm more aware of it, but like I usually link it with my periods. Like PMS. Yeah. I know like before my period, I'm crying, I'm bawling, anything's gonna make me cry.
I have PCOS. I do the same. I can pick fights and then go to the bathroom and be like, oh, that makes sense.
That's why.
I need to make some apologies now.
Well, you're a bigger person than me because I wouldn't apologize. No, I'm kidding.
Really?
No, I do apologize.
Where's my period?
No, I don't know. I would say, yeah, it does. I honestly, I just thought it was because I was a Cancer rising and a Scorpio moon.
Wow, you and your
astrology. Yeah. No, but that's why I thought like I was sensitive. Yeah, I am a bit more sensitive, but I never made the link with the PCOS, honestly. But yeah, it's maybe
there's
something.
Definitely a link. Let's address some common misconceptions people have.
Let's.
So, like you came and approached me a couple of months ago, and you did something that I know it wasn't for PCOS, but quite a lot of people tend to do that and think that if insulin is the issue, then I should just cut out carbs, so no sugars, right? Mm-hmm. So you did that, and was it because of the PCOS or just because you thought
you just can't? We'll never get over it, right?
I did a whole episode on it. No.
I think I did at the time try it out because I thought maybe that would give me like that boost that I need to lose weight and regulate my insulin levels. Like, yeah, it was obviously.
Did the doctor tell you?
No. My friend who said that there is science behind it.
There is science behind it, but it's not really. Again, in life you got to do things that you're able to sustain. But again, with PCOS, this is the common misconception that cutting out carbs and sugars is going to help, but actually it's not going to because you still need it. I actually had people come to me on the podcast on comments telling me that we don't need carbs to survive. Totally agree with that. You do not need carbs to survive. Our body does produce glycogen, but you still want to be able to have a good amount of energy. And if we just rely on your body to produce it, you're not going to have that kind of energy.
Keto diet?
Exactly. Yeah, you go into ketosis, but it's not really sustainable. But with PCOS, you cannot do stuff like that because then you kind of just fuck up your hormones even more.
Yeah, well, thank God I didn't complete the 30 days because when Nick found out, she gave me an earful and she was like, I do not sign on this and you shouldn't be doing this, no. And then you kind of, because I was doing it, how long did I do it? For like a week and a half, I think?
I can't remember. But I told you if you want to finish it, you can, but you need to get off it properly.
Yeah. But I told you I want to get off of it now. And so we had to like gradually
How did that work for you?
What? The
plan to gradually get off it?
Oh my God, I was relieved, first of all. Because I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. I'm miserable. And if Nick is not signing off on this, then I'm out. And my friend was like, no, we were supposed to be doing this together. I'm like, babe, you're on your own. I pay Nick money so she can tell me what to do, and she's saying no. So yeah, when I came off of it, it was obviously like, I got my energy back. I was happier. Even though, we incorporated like carbs slowly. I started with, I think you said like sweet potatoes, oatmeal, I think.
No, first it was like leafy greens. We started you off with greens and then potatoes and then you went to oats.
Yeah.
And
then I was like, I'm never doing this again.
How are you feeling now with your energy and everything?
I feel good. I feel great. It's I think I could do better, obviously, because
but don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be hard on myself. But yeah, no, I feel great. Even at the gym, like I'm so happy with my results. Even though like I did take a break when I went on vacation for a month, but now that I'm back, muscle memory is amazing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I love the gym so much. Like I don't, even though I look forward to my rest days, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I like it. Like I like moving, and I told you this, like, and I'm now in my late 30s, my body feels stronger than it was in my early 30s. And even like when it comes to like injury, pain, I don't have as much pain as I did when I was in my early 30s. In my early 30s, I stopped working out for a very long time. I was going through, personal issues. So I had fallen into a very unhealthy lifestyle where I was, eating a lot of bad food, like junk food. I was like not working out. It was a very unhealthy lifestyle. So I used to wake up in the morning feeling like shit. I was always groggy. I had a lot of back pain. I couldn't like do much. So now, honestly, I feel so good. Even though I'm not like at the weight that I want to be, but I still feel great in my body.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when you didn't feel good in your body, and it was really tough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I have my days.
I think everybody does, no?
Yeah, but because I'm like, okay, I'm doing something about it. I'm working on it. I'm constantly trying to fix things without being too crazy. Because like you said, like I did have that all in or all out mentality.
So when you have your days, I mean, like you said, like I said, most people have it, and you have your days as well. How do you still keep that momentum going? Because, most people would just look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what, fuck this, I want to stop. And then literally stop. So what makes you keep going? What is the reason?
My PCOS, because I want to manage the symptoms. I don't want to get older and still like be dealing with the symptoms or have my symptoms get worse. Like my health is what.
Well, once you hit menopause, it's done anyway. You have new issues to deal with.
Exactly. So let's just kind of like, like do preemptive work here. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully I won't like, that's another maybe 10 years until I'll be dealing with menopause, hopefully. But until then, like,
so
it's my health.
What keeps you going.
My health, yeah.
Yeah, that's really important, I think.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. Because when you have PCOS, I think a lot of people get so caught up, especially when you're younger and you get diagnosed and you become overweight. A lot of people get so obsessed with wanting to lose the weight that they've gained from PCOS, they forget that there's so much more to it.
Yeah, I've been there. Like I said, like when I was younger, my main goal was like, I want to lose weight. And it was so frustrating because you don't know why you're not losing weight. And then you go out to eat with your skinny friends who can put down so much food, and you would eat a fraction of the food and you just blow up. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like the most frustrating thing ever, especially as a woman in our society. You know what I mean? With the ridiculous beauty standards. And then people look at you and have all these assumptions that you're lazy, that you probably eat. Like, yeah, I like I said, like I am of, like I have my moments of volume eating, but most of the time, like you've gone out with me and eaten like I eat like a normal person.
But you've also been on this journey for a while, and you've also lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest problems when people, the society, is when you go out and you meet people and they don't know who you are. They just assume you're lazy and they don't know your story. Where did you start? Where you're at now?
Yeah.
And I find that I really don't like that. Like, in Valencia, I always run, and there's this one woman, she's pretty heavy. I always see her running every single time I run, But I'm sure if I was to see her in a restaurant, you're like, okay, she doesn't think she doesn't do anything, but she does, And I think people need to just keep your comments to yourself.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
No,
That's all.
You don't know what somebody is going through.
Yeah.
It's not really nice.
But at the same time, I have found myself throughout the years using that as a crutch. You know what I mean? Like, or an excuse. When I fall into the bad habits, like I'll be like, oh, it's my PCOS. And then I'm like, no, girl, no, you've fallen off. You know what I mean? So that's why I tell you, like, what kept me motivated to go is my health rather than my body image. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, I look in the mirror sometimes and I don't always like what I see. Most days I love what I see. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether it is where I want it to be or not. But I've trained myself to be like, it's beautiful no matter what, and it's strong. But some days when I'm like, fuck this, like, why am I doing this? And then I'm like, no, I'm doing this because I want to be strong when I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s. I still want to be able to go out and do these things. Like, you know what I mean? Like adventurous things, run, whatever. Like, yeah, my health is the priority and the motivation.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
A long life.
Inshallah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it's been a nice conversation, and you've been more open with me about what you've been doing on the camera than you have been doing on check-ins. So, I mean,
I'm trying to be honest.
We have to have a serious talk after this. But if you had to choose,
I feel like I'm in trouble now.
No, it's fine. You're honest.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose one thing to tell people who are listening, like what they should be prioritizing, whether it's sleep, stress management, or something else, what do you think it should be?
Mental health. Honestly, like, so stress and mental health for sure.
Because that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I think that once you sort that out, you can really, things will start to come into.
I think so too.
Place.
Yeah, I think when your mental is good, you start focusing on your physical and like just everything around you. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Zainab. It's been a
Thank
good chat.
you.
We're gonna have a.
We're just gonna cuddle. No, we're not gonna talk. We're just gonna cuddle.
Exactly.
What? What did you say? I can't hear you.
Let's go have a salad. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to do that. No, but you should be eating salads before your food to manage the spike in your glucose levels.
Yeah.
That is the number one tip.
Yes. Listen to Nick.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like this episode, please make sure to hit like and subscribe, follow on whatever platform you are listening on. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Zainab has her own podcast where they talk about everything female.
Juicy, spicy.
Yeah. It's called Sprinkles and Spice, and I will link it in the bio below. So make sure to follow.
We had an episode with Nick, so make sure to watch that one.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. All right. See you next week. Thanks for being here.